Hello everyone, my name's Edwina Jumpy, or you can call me Mame, and thank you for taking time out to watch my presentation about my vocabulary app, YourTerms. Here's our persona profile. This is Kofi Adu. He's a second-generation African American, millennial, single, no kids, received a BS at Virginia State, and is a business analyst. His goals and motivations are to create an action plan, to accomplish tasks in a timely manner, to learn new terms, to host inclusive events, create their own study material to better retain information, and wants to improve their overall memory and spelling. Sean has a hectic, flexible schedule and finds a hard time setting time apart to study and improve the vocabulary. Our problem statement? Sean needs an action plan to learn no vocabulary and strengthen his spelling because he has an unpredictable work schedule and needs external guidance. We will know this to be true when we see Sean relying less on autocorrect and thesaurus apps. Some of the direct quotes of challenges our persona faces is, I have a problem concentrating on studying on my phone because I get distracted by social media notifications. It is hard to study on the go because I only have two options of self-quiz, quizzes and flashcards. I would like to create my own sentences to retain new vocabulary, but I have not come across these options in different apps I have used in the past. And certain apps charge on a monthly basis, and I do not want to pay for an experience I hardly enjoy or use. With those challenges in mind, I have here our initial prototypes. YourTerms. We have our Join for Free app, our user profile, a static menu bar at the bottom, our menu screen, recent search uploads dictionary, and a screen out to actually upload words. Creating these initial prototypes, our usability test plan was to initially test the ease of the vocabulary application. One test was conducted online, while 3 were taken here in my home office on my desktop. About each session with the participant was about 15 minutes, and I used Marvel, the app, for person and remote testing. Our scenario task was to create a unique username and password through email, for the user to review their account, save their information, to look over their menu, to enter a new term with their own definition, and to test their knowledge by creating a new flashcard for study material. I feel like it was important for the users to go through an onboarding process, to review their information, to look at the menu, to look at the different menu labels, use the app by creating their own terms, and creating a study material. I believe that was the basis for our whole app. Our initial test, I used myself as a variable. You see me at the bottom with the fastest time. But it was interesting to see all the different testers and their duration and their questions, and it was definitely eye-opening. Some of my notes and recommendations was when I noticed that the testers were kind of relying on the blue highlight on Marvel to know what the next steps were, and if I could, it was low risk, but to remove the blue highlight because I wanted the users to know what the next option was without there being a sign for it. Another low-level risk was some testers mentioned that my handwriting was a little genius-like, so a little messy, and wanted to work on spacing so the labels could be easier to read. The next level risk up was adding a dictionary option when uploading new terms. I feel like that's one of the draws of the app, and I wanted to make sure in the next sprint to actually add that feature to make it more of a vocabulary learning app. The highest risk level for me, and also what the users have expressed, was a clear distinction of menu item labels. The wording of certain the labels confused my testers. It wasn't clear enough for them, or like creating a new set was too similar to creating their study materials. So I took that in mind, and I created another round of prototypes. I updated the homepage. Instead of join for free, sign up for free. I wanted to use more direct action verbs. Instead of just uploading a new term, I have enter and upload a new term, and I also added the personal dictionary option. I created larger logos. I added the dictionary definition add-on. I simplified the parts of speech for them to just add in, and larger logos and the create study materials. The updated prototypes and the test results for 1.2, as we can see here, that the mistests definitely decreased. I didn't use myself as a control variable. I had all of the testers work remotely, and I feel like it was a definitely huge improvement. For this round of testing, I focused on the higher level risks, list 2 and 3, so the dictionary add-on and the menu change labels. Overall, testers expressed an easier time using the prototype, and missteps went from 30% to 10%. One of the things that I could improve on that was mentioned by a tester was having the sign-up page at the end of the onboarding process, and I feel like that's a good suggestion, and I want to keep that in mind for the next round. One user accessed the test on Safari on her iPhone, and she also had the highest missteps. I feel like next round I would like to test the different web browsers and devices to compare and contrast how compatible the app is for different people. Next round, I would also like to add more features like the study schedule and the option to disable notifications, just some of the things that I feel like people will be attracted to the app, to make sure that those are actually there. Throughout the design learning process, I definitely had things that I enjoyed and things I can definitely improve on. I thoroughly enjoyed completing the competitive analysis. I love looking at other brands and adding my 2 cents. But one thing I can definitely improve on is when I do a competitive analysis, I actually think about what can actually be improved and not just writing down what I disliked. I enjoyed interviewing and creating users personas. I love interacting with people, and I love kind of creating these personas of what the super user could be like. That was super fun. I know that I can improve on thinking more of a designer than an attentive user. I love critical analysis, but I also need to think about what could actually be put in place for the user having a better experience. So I feel like I can work on thinking more about the designer throughout the program. I also enjoyed creating task analysis. I like actually thinking down about, okay, this is step A, step B, step C. It's really cool to get down to the attention to details. One thing I can improve on is learning how to create an intuitive process diagram. The shapes, the lines, being more comfortable with the software is something I feel like I can improve on. I enjoyed hosting the usability test and seeing testers use the app for the first time. It was pretty cool to actually see people move through a prototype and a wireframe that you kind of created. It took me a while, like I mentioned, to create all that, and to actually kind of see come to life a little bit was super exciting. I definitely know that I want to improve on how comfortable I am with sketching and create wireframing. In the back of my head, I've always said, well, you can't draw and X, Y, Z, and sometimes my attention to details can make me super anxious, but I feel like with more practice and more confidence in myself, I can definitely get more comfortable. I'm super excited to be in the UX program. I'm so happy I decided to go with CareerFoundry. And I'm so excited this is the first step into what a great portfolio I can create. Thank you for taking the time out to view my presentation. Please let me know if you have any questions. I would love to see you guys in the next round of testing. Thank you so much.